Welcome back to our Breakthrough Podcast. I am your host, Vernaetaylor, and I'm so happy that you are spending some time with us today. This is where we come together in a safe space to give you the breakthrough map to go from breakdown to breakthrough, from pain to purpose, from your past to living your greatest story. And I'm so excited about the guest that we have today. And her name is Cheron Hamner. And I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell us who you are and what you do, Cheron. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Renee. Thanks for having me here. My name is Sharon Hamner. I am a hairstylist. I've been a hairstylist for the last 27 years. I am a best-selling co-author and amateur bodybuilder and lifestyle coach.
Wow. Oh my goodness, Sharon. There's some things I didn't even know about you. So this is going to be really interesting. I love it. So tell me, wow, that's a lot. Tell me, what out of all those roles would you say is your most proudest role that you want to talk to the people about today?
The most proudest role, oh my God, I don't know. They all like intertwined into into each other in
Okay.
some kind of way. But I think I'll say, I don't know, like the I'm so amazed at now that my words are in a book.
Yeah.
And that, along with winning my very first bodybuilding competition, those were definitely
Ooh.
amazing times for me.
Okay, you know what? Let's talk about that because we'll definitely get to the book later, but I definitely want to talk about this bodybuilding. This is so intriguing to me. And I appreciate you telling us that, right? It's almost like a fun fact because you don't know when you're looking at someone in clothes, right? Because usually when you see somebody in their bodybuilding, you know, you have your two-piece on or you're posing. So I think it's amazing. So tell us about that journey. First of all, when did you know that you wanted to do this? And talk about, the first steps to like getting to that point because that's like major.
Yeah, it is. It's actually been a goal of mine. It was a goal of mine for a very long time. I was always athletic. Like I grew up doing gymnastics and
Okay.
played sports in high school. And so I continued to like just work out in the gym. And I always wanted to do a fitness competition. So I decided a couple of years ago that it's it. Like crossing that off my bucket list, and I'm doing it.
Wow.
And yeah, and I did that at the age of 40. I think I was 47 at the
Oh
time.
my goodness.
Yeah.
So first off, snap to that. That is amazing. Because when you said 2 years ago, I'm like, oh, like this just happened. So that is amazing. So you said that you always were doing it. Well, you're always athletic and you're always in the gym. And kudos to you. 47, you look beautiful. You
Thank
don't look
you.
like your age, obviously. And then, of course, we know that you're extremely healthy. So tell us about some of the training or some of the even the challenges that you faced being in a competition, right? Because you're at the highest level. You're not just going to the gym on a regular day, but now you're competing and now you have people looking at you and you have to compete at a high level. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, it definitely was. It was a challenge with my mindset,
Mm,
and I think that a lot of my discipline had come from when I had got a diagnosis of having depression. I
ooh,
actually in 98 I got a diagnosis of having clinical depression, and
okay.
I was prescribed medication. And at that time, like I knew that I wanted to get better, but I did not want to have to depend on prescription medication for the rest
Okay.
of my life, because I knew that there was something that was going on, like an imbalance inside of me. So I sought out holistic alternatives to help
Mm,
me get off of the medication. And on that journey, I have discovered like how food can help me fuel my body and also my
mm,
mind. And
okay.
during the journey of the fitness competition, it definitely was like a whole mind game on how to navigate through food and eating and
Mm,
correlating my mind with my body
okay.
and bringing all of those things together.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, I definitely want to go back and definitely want to point out some things so we can draw it out for people that are listening. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Because here it is, you have a high height, this major accomplishment. But like you said, it came from a place of, unknown when you were given this diagnosis. Can you talk to the people about some of the things that the doctor detected, or did you detect and you knew something wasn't right? And you said, okay, let me go to the doctors and see about this. And then talk to us about what were some of the things that you used to as alternatives to the medicine that you didn't want to be dependent upon.
Yeah, it was actually I took it upon myself. I had been in counseling like for a very long time,
Okay.
but it didn't really seem like it was working. And then one day I was just at work. At this particular time, I was working in an office setting and I had benefits, and I went to HR to see like what type of plans that could help me with my
Right.
benefits. And I just decided to check myself into a mental health institute
Wow. Good for
on my own.
you.
My family didn't even know anything about it. I called them once I got checked in and everything and let them know what was going on. But I just knew that something was not right and that it could be better.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome, Sharon. And thank you for sharing that with us, because that was big for you. To really take matters into your own hands and just know something's not right. I want to get better. I love that, right? Because
Hmm.
a lot of times, I know for me, I've been in therapy for the past 10 years. So I believe in it. I believe in counseling, talking to someone, getting better insight, whatever it is that you need to do. I love that you decided that, you know what? It's not even about taboo. It's not about people judging me or you judging yourself. It was really about you knowing, okay, I'm at this place, but I can always be further along. And so I appreciate you sharing that with us. So I know that you said that they prescribe medicine, and we know in this country and our medical field, it is big pharma, right? So they're
Hmm.
all about medicine. When we look at other countries, we're very different in comparison to that. So, talk to us about some of the foods that you either took out of your diet, because I think this is important for people to know certain things that trigger our mood. So, what things did you take out of your diet, and then what did you replace it with?
Well, everything was like a gradual process. Because I would learn something and then I would implement it. And then along the way, I started like shifting and changing everything. So as of right now, I label myself as a pescatarian.
Okay.
But I eat more of like a vegan lifestyle.
Okay.
And
Nice.
through that, like I've just learned like what type of foods, like I kind of pay attention to how my body responds to the food. So, and it was not only like just eating, but also doing several detoxing methods
Ooh, okay.
and
So that's important.
also doing emotional detox and like
Ooh.
spiritual.
Okay, talk about that. I love that, because I know everybody always talks about a detox, as we just are coming over the top of the year, right? Everybody wants to detox, resolute, new me, new year, new you, right? So, talk about that detox. I love that you said emotional and spiritual detox. What did that entail when you say emotional or spiritual detox? What did you do exactly?
Um, well, that again has been a process, and I still work on it like
Yeah,
every single day.
yeah.
Um, a lot of it is just like rewriting the stories
I love that, Sharon.
that I picked up growing up,
Yeah.
and actually going back to who I am, who I came here to be, and remembering the little girl inside of me
Okay.
and like tapping into her and what it is that she needed at the time when she was
Mm.
growing up, when she felt like she wasn't being supported, and being able to be in that space to give her what she needs, as if I'm taking care of her now.
Wow. First off, Siobhan, first of all, when you said rewriting stories, that is literally like my tagline: daring to live your
Hmm.
greatest story. As an author, you being an author, as a writer, we talk about how we're essentially rewriting our story. We're writing the legacy so that the people that come behind us, they know what we went through, they know how we made it over, right? But I love that you talked about who it is that you wanted to be, and even going back to kind of revisit what you might have needed, going back to your history, your background. I call it unlearning and learning,
Yes.
because my goodness, there's so many things that we didn't know that they weren't the right tools. We didn't know it was the right way. We just knew our parents were doing the best they could.
Right.
You know, some people, you're living where you're living. You don't even know you're poor. Maybe you're like, well, this is where we are, and everybody else is doing this, and everybody looks like this, and everybody else has the same thing. So you really don't know, your opportunities until you get out of that space, or out of that, when you get older and you're away from those people that you're familiar with. So I
Mhm.
really appreciate you talking about rewriting your story and going back to that little girl that may have needed something, that might have missed something, or maybe didn't have, like you said, the support that they needed. So I really, really love that. So this is a great segue into you being an author, and talking about that journey. When did you know? Because bodybuilding, that is just so major, it's mind-blowing to me. I've never met like a bodybuilder, so this is exciting for me. So talk about where and when did you know that you wanted to be an author and write?
And actually, that's funny because it goes back to when I was like in fourth and fifth grade. I was
Okay.
writing things. So that little girl knew what she wanted to do. I was
Wow.
into writing poetry and poems. I wrote some plays when I was like in fifth
Ooh.
grade. I even like wrote some commercials and
Oh my goodness, did you submit any of them yet, the commercials?
no, I did not.
Oh, you
And
got to do
it goes back to that support because it was like
that.
I was like so serious about this commercial, and I'm taking it to my parents like, "Hey, I got this great idea." But back then, we didn't have the computer and the internet and all those type of
Yeah.
resources, and it's just like, um, just got pushed aside.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm telling you, I would love to see one of your commercials. I used to love commercial jingles. Now I don't watch a lot of TV. We have all these devices. I don't even have cable. So now, we kind of like go and pick and choose what we want to watch. And then you
Yeah.
can bypass certain things. But back in the day when I would watch my old favorite television shows, I love jingles and I would always memorize them. So I hope that one day you do submit those commercials and I see something that you've written on the TV screen. So I'm so excited about that. So talk about, so you said fourth grade, very young, you're already writing. I can't believe you said you were already a playwright at a young age. You're already a poet. You were already an author. So talk to us about present day now. The very first time that you felt comfortable, what compelled you to actually share that with the world, right? Because I know you said that you spoke to your parents, and back then we didn't have the resources that we have now. So who was the first person you told, and what was the first thing you did in order to get some of your work out there for the world to read?
In regards to this book,
Okay, so
yeah,
it was Your Voice Matters.
yeah, Your Voice Matters was
Okay, hold it up to
my
the screen,
first.
let us see it. Yes, awesome. Talk to us about this and this journey and what your contribution was.
um well, it's been a long time coming, because like I said, I was writing stories, and I wanted to get my voice out to the world after getting lots of nudges from God, to tell this
Mm,
story that I actually had deep inside of
okay.
me that I was embarrassed about for a very long
Oh,
time,
okay.
because of the fact that I'm a black woman,
Yeah.
and nobody like that I know has gone to like check themselves into a mental hospital and
Okay. Okay.
admit that they were on prescription medication, and like it would I was afraid of being like labeled
Okay.
crazy. Mhm.
Right. I know what you mean. I can relate. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So my ego did not even want to tell the story, but God said something else, and
Yeah.
that I needed to get my story out to help other women who are struggling with getting the help that they need and getting their voice heard, and realizing that everything about them matters.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that's perfect because, like I said, it's the book is called Your Voice Matters. It's an international bestseller, so you are
It
an
is.
international best-selling author. So congratulations to you for
Thank
that.
you.
But I love that you talked about, feeling like the ego that doesn't want to allow you to be vulnerable to share that story. But believe you me, there are so many people that can relate. I can personally relate in my family and on a personal standpoint, where now what we're going through as a nation, I'm sure a lot of people are feeling a little off kilter,
Yeah.
and they can't really truly identify it. But I love that you're talking about this right now today, because there's people that are listening. They're going to know, wow, maybe it's something that I need to look into. Maybe I need to write it down, whether it be journaling, whether it be you're talking to a friend if they're not ready to talk to a counselor, right? Or
Mhm.
if they're not ready to check themselves into a facility, it may just be one other person that can be a lifeline, that can give them some insight, or they can just get it off of their chest. So I really, really appreciate that you took that, you took the initiative to really take hold and empower yourself, to just get better. I just love that you said getting better, and that's all it's about, getting better. I think we really need to focus on mental health in this
Yeah.
country, because my goodness, it would solve a lot of issues that we're dealing with right now. So thank you for that.
Mm.
So let's get to this book. Tell us about your contribution, because I know you said you're a poet, you're a playwright, and you have a powerful, compelling story. So what did you share in this book of Your Voice Matters?
In the book, I told a story about how I got to the point where I wanted to check myself in
Okay.
to the mental institution, and how I took food as my medicine.
Okay.
And just it's just a story of triumph and how you can
Yeah.
overcome, and like you were saying, just kind of taking charge and control over your life.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness. Well, first off, triumph. I love that. Such a powerful word. So whoever's listening, you writing notes, triumph, and just empowering yourself better, all of these things, all these nuggets that you're dropping. I want people to get it. I love that you told your story and you were brave. It takes a lot of bravery just to talk about your truth, right? And to
Hmm.
stand in your truth. And people don't realize it as authors, that's what we're doing. We are really like putting it all out there for the world to see, and it's out there forever, right? Like we can't take
I
it back. Like
know.
I know the first book that I wrote, Breakthrough Behind Me. I I remember, when I'm sure you went through this, with the editing process, after you read it a few times, you're like, oh, I want to change that. Oh, I should have took that out, or I should have added this. And it's like, oh no, it's already out there now. You can't take it back. These
Yeah.
words are forever. So I think it is beautiful that you shared this, um, and it's beautiful that you had the courage to do this. So I want to talk about another role that you mentioned that I think definitely probably it's a good segue right into what you were doing in helping others. You said you're a life coach, right?
Yes.
So talk about that journey. How did you know that this is something that you had is really good tools and tactics and strategies, that could help someone else? When were you ready to do that? What compelled you to say, okay, you know what, I can do this. I can help others with this.
Well, being a hairstylist for over 20 something years, I'm like the
I know where you're going.
therapist. So I hear people's struggles and problems all day long. And I noticed that I started like actually giving homework assignments to a lot of my clients and
Wow.
coaching them through different things and having them report back to me on,
Really?
yeah,
What kind
results.
of homework assignments?
Ah, man, they would have to do like write list of some things, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, contact some people, but yeah, they actually had homework assignments, and I'd be
Oh,
like,
that's
"You need to
awesome.
text me." Um, that you did it, or show me a screenshot or of something.
Oh my goodness,
Um,
this is awesome. Where are you located? I'm like, I might need to sit on the couch or sit in the chair.
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh man, you of course you would be. All of my favorite people and all the people that are doing such amazing things are in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm telling you, I'm gonna go back someday because the last time I was in Atlanta, I was young. Now I'm in Columbus, Ohio, but I'm a Jersey
Okay.
girl, so I just moved here. But that is good to know. And so, are you still doing hair to this day?
Yes, I'm still doing hair.
All right. So
Yeah.
now you're doing hair, you're coaching, you're giving people assignments, and are you still training? And when is your next competition for the bodybuilding, or how often do you actually compete? I should say.
I have not selected another competition yet, but I do have one that I'm going to do in the future. Right now, I'm just kind of really focused on getting the word out about the book and
Yeah.
um, and the coaching and the helping women feel good inside and out, like
Yeah.
become their greatest best self. And yeah, I definitely will be doing some more competitions.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, really, you are really doing it big. Like really multifaceted. When you think about holistic, you really are taking care of people holistically, right? From the inside out.
Hmm.
You talked about mindset, you talked about getting mental together. You're talking about nutrition, right? Making sure that, people are intentional about the food that they're putting in, making alternative methods for the medicine that we're a lot of times too dependent on,
Hmm.
that may not work well with our bodies. And then you're talking about being physically strong, and then taking your story and your truth and packaging it in a way that people
Yeah.
can digest. I am just like so excited for everything that you have going on, and it's so beautiful
Thank
the
you.
way that it all came together for you, and simply because you were honest with yourself about where you were but where you wanted to be. I think that's the most important
Exactly.
thing, and that's what breakthrough is about, right? Going from pain to purpose, breakdown to breakthrough, from your past to, like you say, rewriting and living your greatest story. So I don't know if you would like to, but I would love to see if you would want to read a little excerpt from your contribution of Your Voice Matters, and then we'll talk about a little bit how people can pick that up and where they can find you, of course.
Let me see. Let me see.
So, anyone listening, guys, just so you know, we are talking about Your Voice Matters. It is the international best-selling book. It is a compilation book. It's a beautiful contribution. As we spoke at the height of the pandemic, at the height of racial unrest in our country, we are really talking about our experiences. It is raw, it is real, it is unedited and unfiltered. And we are talking to Sharon Hamner, who had an incredible contribution to this work. So she's going to read an excerpt
Mhm.
from this part in Your Voice Matters.
Okay, so the story starts where like I started to realize that something was going on, and I'm going to pick up in the middle.
Okay.
I recognized that something drastic had to be done. I decided to check myself into a mental health institution. I had been to counseling before, but a mental hospital, that's for crazy people. You're not crazy. People like and love you. You're Black. You're a Christian. You go to church, just pray it away. Tell the devil he's a liar. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, said the voice in my head. I was a lion trapped in a cage. I wanted to break free and I needed help. I was afraid and embarrassed, but I knew that this was one of the best decisions I was making to turn my ship around and to get on a new path.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Sharon. That was beautiful. And oh my goodness, I can so relate. I have chills because I know what it was like the first day I checked myself into therapy. And it was an episode that led me there. So,
Hmm.
oh my goodness, I am so glad that you shared your story. I am so glad that you spent time with us today. I want to hear more. I can't wait to hear more. And hopefully someday I can find you when I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and I can sit in your chair when I figure out what I'm gonna do to my hair next, because it's always something. Every year I do something different with my hair. But oh my goodness, I really, really appreciate you talking about this and really sharing this. And I know people are going to be changed and transformed. I know somebody's going to hear this today. They're going to feel liberated to tell their story. They're going to feel liberated to get the help that they need. They're going to feel liberated to talk to somebody, because sometimes it's just like getting it out of your body,
Yeah,
talking to a listening ear. And I love that you mentioned in your contribution to Your Voice Matters about being a Christian, about being a Black woman, about being, God-fearing person. Yeah, we are faith-based, right? And we are faithful, and we believe in a higher power. But it doesn't mean that we can't, take wisdom and do our part, right? So I
exactly.
appreciate that you talked about that, because I know when I've spoken to a lot of my other Black women and sisters in Christ, we carry a lot. And at the end
Mhm.
of the day, we are only human, and everybody has their limit, and everybody has their threshold where enough is enough, right?
Mhm.
Because you're only one person. So thank you so much for sharing your story today. Thank you for telling us about what it is that you can do and what others can do
Yeah.
to break through. So tell everybody where they can find you, whether it be social media, and what you are promoting in your organization or company, so that we can make sure they can find you and follow up.
I am on Instagram and Facebook. Facebook.
Yeah.
My handle is at Sharon Hamner, CheronHamner. If anyone wants to DM me, I do have a free guide that helps to
Nice.
give you some tips on elevating your mood and your energy. So I do have that available if anyone would like to connect with me.
Yes. Oh my goodness. You guys definitely have to pick up this guide. I'm gonna have to DM you and get that guide as well, to see what I can do to help elevate my mood. I'm sure we can all use it right now with
Yes.
everything that's going on. For me, it's the sunshine. That's what elevates my mood. Fresh air and the sunshine. So thank you so much again for being with us. And thank you guys for listening to our Breakthrough podcast. I tell you, this was a good one. If you are listening, you might want to play this back, take some notes, listen to it again, and definitely share it with somebody that you know that could use this word. Make sure you like and subscribe our Breakthrough podcast across all streaming platforms and all social media platforms. Remember that we are here to give you the breakthrough map to go from breakdown to breakthrough, from pain to purpose, from your past to living your greatest story. Stay locked in every Thursday, 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. in the UK. Thank you so much, Sharon, for being with us.
Thank
And thank you
you.
guys for another amazing episode of our Breakthrough Podcast. Till next time, keep breaking through.
Yes.
Bye.